In this episode, I'm speaking with Aoife Dooley, writer, illustrator, and stand up comedian. Well known for her razor sharp observational humour and very unique visual style. She's written and published many books in recent years and has also created her very own animated TV series. So, come here, what have you been working on?
I've had like a few little jobs on that's been keeping me going.
Yeah.
But I've been doing something for Dublin City Council Culture Club, so that was fun, and I should be finished that next week. And then other than that, then I've just been working on my own stuff like book proposals and just anything I can to kind of keep myself busy. I work from home as it is, but like it's kind of, I suppose it's different when you can't go out then. So it's yeah.
Right, how are you finding
I try to think. I'm finding it's funny because I work from home, so I should be finding it a lot easier than I am. But I'm finding it difficult because I had swine flu before.
Yeah.
I'm not taking any chances. It was the worst thing
yeah.
ever. Oh, I was hallucinating and all, Jerry. It was mad. It was horrible.
2 weeks. Come here, I stumbled upon a video clip, and it must be about 4 years old. It was a goggle pox.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus, just absolutely. Do you mind? I'm going to throw a little bit of this on the end of this video later.
Oh, not at all. Oh, yeah.
Got huge traction and huge views, didn't it? That was a...
Yeah, don't know right now, yeah.
Career in a little way. Did that help in some way getting you a bit of notice?
Yeah, well, we linked up to do that one out together. I basically came up with the idea, got on to Enya, and then said, like, oh, do you want to do something together? This is the idea that I have.
Yeah.
And then I had two friends who do all kind of video editing and all that. So I said, right, let's do something together. And we done the first one, but we didn't think that it was going to like blow up like it did. So then we decided to do another. But yeah, I really want to do more of those though. But yeah, it definitely did. It definitely did.
A great doing performance and having the crack like that. It's so different to sitting in front of your laptop crafting out books. So it must be great to have that release.
I think that's why I do it, because like obviously working on books or illustration, it's like a kind of lone wolf job. Like you're working on it at home.
Yeah.
You're not really kind of, unless you're working like in office and you're socializing with people that way, or you're renting office space. But most of the time it's kind of done on your own. So yeah, it's nice to kind of like, you know, interact with real people as well sometimes. Sometimes now the work that I do wouldn't be with ad agencies, it'd be directly with the companies. So yeah,
that's work for Energia, was it?
Yeah, Energia, and then there was National Lottery I done stuff for as well. Like that wasn't through an agency, that was through them. Like so.
Funny, isn't it? Do you know when you kind of make a bit of a mark for yourself and start to get known for what you do? Because your work is very original, especially even visually and also in the kind of a slant of humor that you have. So maybe some clients are kind of gravitating towards that now as well.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. That's definitely a thing with my work. Whenever anyone comes to me, they're coming to me for that kind of stuff. So yeah. I think it's it's a funny one, but I think that's also been because I've been doing my own stuff, like my books and all that kind of thing. Yeah. So I kind of just reach out to people then when I'm not working on my own stuff as well. Yeah.
This is a belter, by the way.
That's the second one, yeah.
Second one, yeah. I just do it again, and there's some outlandishly funny stuff in it. So can I ask you a slightly personal question, if you don't mind? Feel free to. You had an illustration. It was a very endearing illustration about your experience with autism. Do you know the one I'm speaking about?
Yeah, the diagram, was it?
Yeah, it was lovely. Now, it was really, and so it gave a lovely understanding into maybe into how that you work so prolifically and so fast as well. Is there some connection there? Would you imagine? Your work ethic, your attitude, and your maybe focus that you have. Would you like to explain a little bit?
Yeah, it's kind of it's a funny one. I think that I definitely think that it's something to do with that. Absolutely, because even through like primary school and all, drawing was all I wanted to do, and making people laugh was something else that I wanted to do and always done in school. I wasn't people kind of like look at the stereotypes of it and go like, oh, you're really good at science or maths. Well, I was shy at both, so I just like crushed that stereotype. Yeah. But I know that I've noticed that I can focus on things for long periods of time, and I think it's because it would be down to a special interest of one. So a special interest would be kind of like if you see someone else on the spectrum, they might be like obsessed with Star Wars. So a special interest is actually put down as an obsession. So you're like obsessed with it. So I'm kind of like that with my work. So it's that I think that's kind of how it's kind of linked in together. So not everyone's that lucky, I suppose, like where they're mad about what they do, but I think that's kind of where the focus came from, because it was something that I was enjoying doing. And then it was really funny because I didn't realize that drawing is a form of stimming. So there's loads of different things that like people would do to kind of like regulate like their mood, or like just to kind of like keep themselves calm, or just, you know, if you're kind of feeling like you're going to get a meltdown or something, like some people do this. You know, you've probably seen this kind of thing. These are kind of like really common ones I've seen, like boys and stuff do. I don't typically do anything like that now. I'm trying to think if I do anything. I shake my foot in bed when I'm going to sleep. Like I kind of rock it, but that's about it. But other than that, then for me, other than that, then for me, it would be just the drawing itself. So drawing is a form of like this thing. It's soothing and calming. So I think So I think inadvertently, maybe drawing wasn't meant to be my thing, but I think it became my thing when I was a kid, because I got bullied really bad. So I'd go into my room and draw to calm myself down.
What period of your life were you experiencing issues with bullying? Was it primary school?
Primary school was the worst. Secondary school was fine. Secondary school was absolutely fine. But primary school was hell. Oh my God, inside and outside school.
That's rough when it's sort of vicious as well, isn't it? It can be very, very upsetting, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like especially when like back then, I didn't know what the story was. I didn't know why I was being bullied, and I always seemed to be the kind of person that people would pick on. And I used to always just think to myself, "Oh, why is it that people are treating me like this? I look just like everyone else." So to me, and anyone else, like, you know, they would think the same as well, because I just look like everyone else, because it's kind of an invisible disability in that way. But when I found out, though, it was amazing, because then it kind of made sense of all those things, and not why they happened, but it definitely kind of gave me a better understanding to how other people would have perceived me back then, when I didn't really understand myself. Do you know that kind of way?
Yeah. And come here, what sort of positives and negatives do you still experience today? Your experience, say, with sensory overloads. Like and how does that affect you? Which is ironic, because you're going out with one of the best rock drummers in Dublin. So
it's like everything. There's too much going on. It's like just like too much going on in your brain, and everything just kind of stops. It just shuts down, like, because it's getting too much information. If that makes sense. I get you. It's the easiest way that I can describe it, because it's weird.
Say, for example, so if you're kind of a tendency to pick up too much information, do you think it comes out in your pencils and your sketch? Because your book is quite just say it's very observational. Like you're almost kind of, you know, you're just picking up on little minute details of the what would otherwise be sort of almost banal things, be it even traffic signs or something, putting a funny twist on it. So how do you carry a sketchbook with you? How do you operate, like, in terms of getting your ideas down, your how things are looking for you? Like, do you carry sketchbook? Do you have a habit of that in terms of your own process?
No, I'd keep a notebook for, like, if I'm writing down like notes initially, but I kind of just do it in my head.
So I just think of your head, but notes. You write down little funny observations.
I write down like if I thought of something funny, I'd write it down. But if I was drawing something and I had the idea in my head, sometimes it just, like, I'd be thinking of something, I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be a cool thing to draw, and then I'd have it in my head then, and I'd be able to draw it.
When you're drawing, can you are you using like Wacom pens or?
Yeah, I have my laptop and a tablet, and then I have an actual, like, what's it called? The iPad Air, not the iPad Air, but iPad Pro. Sorry, I have one of those, and they're really good for drawing as well. I think I prefer it because I'm very impatient. So I feel if I was to draw something really detailed with pencil, and if I made a mistake, I'd be really upset about it.
I get you,
It would ruin my day. It would ruin my day. Yeah. Especially if I was halfway through, like, so for example, like, if you look at Steve Duke and stuff, like, if I was halfway through doing something like him and to that detail and I made a mistake, I'd lose the plot, I think. So I think it's just a easier way for me to work and a better way for me to work. So if I make a mistake, I'm just going to go back and then kind of that way. So,
can I ask you a bit about your stand-up career, which has kind of definitely blossomed in the last 4 years, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, I think it's 3 years this year. So I'm going to miss the Vodafone Comedy Festival this year, like, now. Because I don't even know if I would have been on actually at it this year, but I would have went anyway regardless, because it's great.
Yeah.
But I'm really enjoying it. It's something I thought that I wouldn't really do, but it's definitely something you get, like, it's really hard to explain. It's kind of like when you jump off a plane. I've never jumped off a plane now, but I'm just trying to think of an example. And, like, you're shitting yourself before you do some skydiving. And then when you actually do it, you really enjoy it. And then you have that kind of buzz at the end where you're like, whew, And that's kind of what it feels like.
Yeah.
That's you kind of get that kind of buzz from it. Like, well, I do anyway.
So doing it's the good part. It's the few minutes prior is the kind of the anxious.
Yeah. Always. Because you don't know what to expect. You don't know who's going to be there, and you don't know, you know, what the audience is going to be like. You don't know if your new material is going to land or if it's going to be shite.
I've seen you once or twice, and it was fucking knocked the house down. But like, have you ever had any ropey moments on stage?
Oh yeah.
And does it bother you afterwards, or?
Not really. And I think that's why I kind of have gotten far in what I do, because it's funny. I let like really small things that everyone else wouldn't let get to them, and everyone else would just brush off. But when it comes to those things and kind of, you know, making a show yourself or not having, that doesn't bother me at all, because I've actually learned more from that gig than I have a gig that I've done well. So it pushes me to work harder. So I suppose in that way it'd be kind of like, it'd be different. But yeah, oh God, I have had terrible ones where like there's been like 2 people in the audience and they literally haven't got a clue what I'm saying because I'm talking extra fast then, because there's only 2 people in the audience and I just want to get out of there. And I know that my jokes aren't landing, and so yeah, I think everyone kind of goes through that process. But if you were to just give up on it or to get really down over it if it went really bad, you probably wouldn't do it again then. Do you know that way?
But it must be funny at one of those little 2 people audience. It must be hard to get any energy going. So it's kind of a.
Oh, it is, and that's why I had been thinking about doing a gig on through video like this, like and then I was thinking about it for a while, and I was like, I don't know if that'd be my thing. It'd be kind of weird because like you're not really getting other people's reactions. It's like you're just talking to the screen, trying to be funny, but you don't know if your jokes are landing. So.
Jesus, that's given Duggan a whole new meaning. Had me sweating 90.
Your TV show at the moment, right? Who are you collaborating with to make?
That's with Digital Beast. So yeah, they're great animators. We had actually worked on a few things previously to RTE kind of contacting me about working on this. So I just thought they'd be the perfect people to work with because I knew they were sound and I'd worked with them before, and we had a good working relationship. So yeah, they do all the animation and I supply all the illustrations. And then I'd do the writing as well. And it's sometimes like, you know, if I'm doing the writing and there's something that kind of could land better, Connor, Digital Beast, be like, oh, why not try this? Actually, that could like sound better. So it is like a kind of collaboration in that way. Like, and then like with the guys who do the voiceovers as well, like Emmett, Jen. I've got Emmett Kieran doing Anto's voice. Then I've got Jen Hatton doing Tanya's voice, and then all the kind of other like female voices in between. So there's like a news presenter, for example, and then I have Al Foran, so he does all the kind of he does Anto's best friend Gary's voice, and then he does like all the kind of famous voices, or like Kanye West and all those kind of, because he's very good. He's so good, and he's so lovely as well. Everyone who is working on this is lovely, so it's been a really nice thing to work on. Do you know, that kind of way? And I'm not used to working in big groups of people. I'm used to working on my own.
First, she's never got me bowl of red Starburst that I asked for. Now with monkeys at that boost in me chain. Fuck yes.
It kind of really gave me. It's a kind of like my first kind of project where I've had, like, you know, I'm working with people in this way, so. I'm really enjoying it so far.
Do you record it like the old-fashioned radio plays all around the mic? Do you all record it as a reading live?
So no, we wouldn't do the audio in RT. So how it usually works is like I'd start working on the scripts. I'd get like the scripts over then to Connor. He'd have a look through them. Oh, here's Kyle coming in the door now. Here's the scripts. He goes through them, sends them off to RTE. If we get feedback, which I have to say, they're actually great to work with. They never really give too much feedback. They're really trusting with what we do. And I was really surprised at that because I didn't think that they would be. And they literally just come back with bits of feedback on, oh, maybe, you know, look at that ending again. Can it be a bit more kind of like, can something mad happen or whatever? And then basically then I'll go back, look at the scripts, fix them up a bit, and then while that's going on in the background, the lads are working on the animatics. So they're doing the storyboards to send over to RT, the storyboards, then they do the animatics. They send the animatic to me so I can have a look then, and RT, and I can have a look then to basically see what way the illustrations need to be drawn on the backgrounds, because I do those as well. So and that's basically how it's done then. So once I get the storyboards, I literally just go, right, okay, this is what needs to be done, and I just get everything in a folder. So we literally had to go in, like, we went in together the first time, but then the second time was when the pandemic had hit, like, and it was literally just as everyone kind of was being told to stay at home. So we had to go in one by one to do the voiceovers. But since that happened, then I don't think they're open. So we haven't been able to do the next few episodes. So there should have been one out this month, and you know, the next month.
So I'd say you're chomping at the bit, are you? Kind of having too much to think about it. You just love to go in and get it done. That can happen.
Absolutely. So like I'm kind of just waiting now to see what the story is. So they're still going ahead now, but they're probably going to be like, you know, much later into like the summer, I'd say, than they had initially been like planned for.
This might be old news at this stage, but you won a kids book awards, didn't you, on Post?
It was in November. Yeah, it was just coming up to Christmas. Yeah, that was mad.
Yeah.
It was, that was a really cool night.
Did you find it difficult to tone it down a bit for the kids' books?
Yeah, I did find, like, for the illustrations, I made my illustrations more kind of rounded.
Yeah.
And it does more kind of I don't know, more friendly to the child eye. I don't know if that sounds like I'm talking bullshit, but for kind of kids' books, and I noticed that they've rounded corners, and for that age particularly, like, so. But I'm actually working on a new book now, a proposal anyway for it. And that's going to be a kids' book as well, but a bit older. So I'm aiming for like the 9 to 12 bracket now.
Yeah.
The next one that I'm working on.
That's the thing about 9 or 7-year-olds to 9-year-olds. They always identify with teenagers as opposed to with their own. Like, everyone always identifies that bit older until you get to my age. Then you try to identify a bit younger.
You go backwards then. Yeah, totally agree.
Question on your style, which is cool, right? The black and cyan, was that for? Did you kill two birds with one stone, getting a 2-color print job as well? When you,
I didn't even think about that there. You know, it was I had it like initially it was black and red, and I kind of wanted it to be like in a comic book style where it was like just black and white and then one extra color.
So
that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like I had it red and black first, and I found that there was so many other like comics and illustrators that use red and black, so I was like, my stuff's really not going to stand out like amongst like everyone else who's doing these same colors. So and I noticed that no one was doing pink.
Hey, what's your plan for the day? You back working on stuff for you?
Oh, I've been looking into my family tree as well. That's been really interesting. That's been keeping me going.
Yeah,
I've been doing that more than I've been doing my work. Sure, don't tell anyone that. But that's really interesting. Yeah, ancestry.
How far would you like to go back? Do you ever see Who Do You Think You Are? Do you know that show where it brings you back?
Yeah, I love that show.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I done a campaign with them a while ago, and the campaign was actually meant to be a video for Who Do You Think You Are.
Yeah.
It hasn't come out, so I don't think it's going ahead, because they sent me over my ancestry results and my family tree, because they actually looked into it as well.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. Like just to find out a bit of who you are, I suppose. And I found some cousins then, with kind of like so I found out that I was 12% Jewish, and I found some cousins with 100% Jewish ancestry. So I was like, okay, if they're 100% Jewish, I'm obviously related to them through my Jewish side, which comes from my dad's dad. So I think my great granddad was 100% Jewish, but he's like a Russian Jew basically. But I found out my cousin as well. This is amazing. So I found someone's tree, and their great granddad just so happens to look like my granddad. Now this is uncanny. I don't know if I can show you on my phone, but this is crazy.
Give it a go.
I got talking to her, right? And she was lovely. And she goes, I see you're an illustrator. I worked in animation for 30 years. I'd love to see what you do. And I was like, oh my God, she worked in animation for 30 years? She must be really good. So I was thinking to myself, I wonder who she is. So I went onto Google and I done a little Google. Hang on now, I'm just going to get this picture up for you. I know I'm kind of splitting between two things. But this is good.
And where is she based?
See those pictures?
Oh, wow, yeah.
This is my granddad, and this is her great granddad.
That's mad, isn't it?
Oh, it's crazy. I think I found it just pure fluke, and got in touch with her. But I just couldn't believe how similar they looked. And I turned out talking to my cousin. Like, I think she's like a third cousin or fourth cousin. We haven't quite figured it out. We think that it's like my granddad's brother's, kind of like family and that kind of way. But I looked her up anyway, and God, my mind just exploded, and I got so excited. I could have been like a kid on Christmas. I couldn't believe someone else in the family was doing something similar to me, because there's no one else in my family who can draw. Like literally nobody's interested in it.
Yeah.
And it turns out that she worked on the pilot episode for the Rugrats and worked on Ren and Stimpy, the cartoon. I was like, that's so cool.
And have you met in person?
No, she lives in Los Angeles, I think.
Los Angeles, yeah. Well, still,
yeah, so it was really cool.
Have the connection now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing. So it's that's been really nice to kind of keep the time going as well in the background. So I've been doing that a lot. It's really addictive though. Like it's you have to kind of keep going on just to have a look to see if anyone else pops up. It's really cool though.
It's fantastic. Could be the bones of a nice illustration when the time comes, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
listen, I'm not going to hijack too much more of your day. I really appreciate the chat.
Grand.
Lovely, and
I love a chat as well.
Good stuff. No, great stuff. Hopefully bump into you again when all this crazy.
Absolutely.
What's your nationality?
Irish.
Irish.
I love how they're checking our bag, but they're not checking our bun. Like, that's the first place I would have checked the size of that thing.
I wanted to kind of show my family that I'm 19, I can do things by myself.
Is that the same girl?
Yeah.
Almost 23.
Oh, she looks lovely now.
Where's the fucking tyre gone?
What tyre?
On top of our heads.
I can either live in this.
I'd shove 10 million worth of coke up my arse if I could go out of prison looking like that.